We taping? How's your week?
The week has been pretty good. How was your week?
Exciting.
What was exciting about
People talking to me. I'm like, really? Like everyone just. I
it?
used
What
to have
kind
this
of a
theory.
ministering thing?
Ministry thing. I used to have this theory, and I always said, when a child, especially babies, stare at you in the eye, there's something that they're trying to tell you, communicate with you.
Wow, you had that happen to you too.
Yes, they always like.
Babies
They'll be
always
like,
looking. Yeah, and I don't care how far you go back there, turn all the way around and look. It's scary at first.
I'm like, they
Oh,
trying to
baby.
deliver you a message. They like, we got this one fresh from the press. We ain't been here long to get it tainted. Yeah, you somebody.
See, when we were talking, when babies look at us like that we were, there's something special in us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think
Wow,
that's that
that's
confirmation that you got something to do. Why ain't you doing it? I'm
Yeah.
gonna watch
See, now I'm gonna be focused on that.
it. But the problem is not babies now.
What's the problem? Here it comes.
These are grown folks. I'm talking about they just looking at you and you not in part as in staring. They just look at every word you say or anything like that. Like they're waiting for you to say something to them.
What do you think that is?
Ministry.
Huh. But
We see it all the time when we go out. You know, they like
but I mean, it
our
seems like
friends.
you're trying to get to something. Like what are you? It's a reason you brought it that way.
No, I just always like I said, I always thought that kids do that. Now I'm experiencing adults doing it too. Like, oh Lord, I really must have something to tell these people. So on that subject,
Yeah, this is
on that subject,
Uh-huh.
let's go into our subject for today:
What is that? Love and
boundaries.
my favorite word.
Boundaries or love?
Boundaries. People need to know their boundaries.
Yes, Lord.
People need to know their boundaries. I totally agree with tonight's subject because part of my week consisted of, I won't say that they overstepped their boundaries, but
They were checking their boundaries.
the relationship is their friendship, however you want to classify the relationship part of it. Love, I mean, you got something, you're doing something, it could be a budding thing, a developing thing, but it's the boundaries part that I think people need to understand. Some people overstep their boundaries and don't. I'm gonna say some people just don't care.
Well, in every relationship, we have to define our boundaries. There's some things that I can speak to my brother about in different ways that I can't speak to a person that I just met.
Understood.
So in every relationship, every interaction, there should be boundaries, and I feel like boundaries are perceived at first.
Perceived or assumed?
They're assumed.
Yeah, because I don't say that's a fine
They're assumed. You know, we assume that the boundary for certain people are X, Y, Z. I know a lot of people, man. Yeah, I probably should scare for it. People that have dreads.
Okay.
They don't allow people to touch them.
Okay.
You know, just don't come up to the person and just start playing in their hair. That's just like, wait a minute.
Right. Wow, that's, you know what? That same thing goes for bald heads, and that wasn't even discussed.
Yeah.
Because I get that a lot. The more shinier my head is, or the more fresh cut that it is, I get a lot of people like, "Can I just touch it?" They something.
Well,
I
at
don't
least
mind, that's what I'm about to say. I don't mind the ones that ask, but then you got some that just, I guess it's just so tempting. They just walk up and it's like,
No, it's not
I'm
tempting.
very.
You just stepped over the
Yeah,
boundary.
exactly. I mean, it's to that point where that I don't even let a barber touch my hair. I cut my own hair. I'm
Okay.
just that. Would the word be self-conscious about it?
Self-conscious
Yeah.
or just protective.
Okay.
You
Okay.
you have the right
Protecting
to
my boundaries.
you have to protect your own stuff.
Yeah.
You know.
I don't know what you're doing. You're just reaching in there. You
I don't
know.
want anyone's saliva and other juices to be in my head.
Ugh, that would be nasty. Okay.
Hopefully, watch the hands.
Mm-mm.
But we can't.
Yeah, that would be interesting. But when we get to the boundaries part, okay, because we got two heavyweights here. That
Yeah, this I probably know that this might be a series for the whole month if we, depending on how we take it.
Yeah,
But the only way we
when
do
they
this,
comment,
yeah, you comment and you say if you have questions about the subject, because we're probably going to try to be as broad as possible at first, and then get more
Maybe
specific.
that's you. You know me. I'm
Oh
I'm
Lord!
come straight up the midway. Because that's important. I mean, even in your whatever faith that you walk in, there's boundaries. But it's like, why should I have to have this high status or classification for you to just automatically respect my boundaries?
No, I feel like everyone should be respected. You should have boundaries for every person. You know, I'm not going to walk up to a person and just start doing certain things, and that's not even just the physical boundaries, emotional boundaries, of course, sexual boundaries, and
Right.
then we have just communication boundaries.
But again, think about it. If you have a certain title or some letters behind your name, you tend to be more respected.
Misplaced apples with soup.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's like, how are you gonna walk up to me and just think you can just
So should I change the name of this?
no,
Should we go buy DRs?
leave it just like it is.
Get some extra initials on the back of our names, and we could be warranted here.
But I'm just saying, even when you have those like some specific titles, it's like an understood thing. All these fall into this one place, but because I don't have those things behind my name or in front of my name, you feel that you could just walk up to me or say whatever emotionally distress me, whatever the boundary is you overstep.
Mm-hmm.
You know, how do we create those boundaries so that that doesn't happen? You see what I'm saying?
I understand. I do understand now. In creation of boundaries, first thing we gotta do is protect our boundaries.
Yes.
If I wanted to protect my house and I didn't want anyone to come into my property line, I put fences up.
Okay. All right.
So sometimes people try to get inside the fence and everything, and we show them back to the gate and out the door.
Okay.
You know, so we have to. A lot of times, there's people on the other side of my fence. I don't care that they're there. I ignore them.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes ignoring is one way of doing it. If you ask me a question and that's something that I don't feel is your right to know, or or I execute my right not to tell you, I just ignore the question or go on. Nice way. It's like,
So how would you do that with? I mean, not how would you do it? How does an individual out there who wants to set boundaries, but they have the intimidation factor? They have that. I don't know if I can, say that one individual that always settling, that just accepts everything and never.
yeah.
You see what I'm saying? It's like
You,
that's who I want to reach. If I can reach someone, I want to reach that individual who.
Because you asked this question in such a manner, do you have a way that you want to? I want to change
Are
it.
you
I
gonna
want
flip,
a little
flip
bit
this back?
angle. You,
Okay.
I'm like, you must have something you want to say on this line.
Well,
I do have a comment, but go ahead.
I mean, here's the thing. Especially in communication, like you mentioned earlier, I feel like people tend to overstep boundaries when you have an individual that may say something to someone else in regards to you.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and that person may come and discuss that with you or broadly drop that in you, and you can kind of pick up, some people can pick up certain things, and some will just play it off. But in the event, here you have this individual who wants to set a boundary, whether it's work, school, it could be at home.
Family.
Yeah, you got two family members that's sitting there talking about a third family member.
Mm-hmm.
And that third family member's feeling some kind of way, but don't want to put you on the spot for saying something. Don't want to just automatically jump to the individual that may be saying something.
Mm-hmm.
And then you fall into this whole rut of...
What one good way on that one is,
Yeah.
invite that person in the conversation. You know back. Wait a minute.
You know me all too
You know back
well.
in the day when you had three-way. I don't know.
Exactly. And then you call that person.
Wait.
It'd be you and the one person. Then you call that person. Hold on, let me call them on the three-way. Don't you say nothing.
Don't say nothing while
Don't
you're
you say nothing. Don't let them know. Mute your phone. Muting the phone then was just putting your hand over it.
Yeah.
So you can't. But you had to still hold your head up there so you can hear.
Or the other part was you didn't have three-way speakerphone. Come on over here. Listen, I'm gonna put it on speaker so you can hear exactly what's saying.
And seeing, okay, now hear what
Yeah.
you just said. You just mapped out two different scenarios, but how does that
But
make you the individual who's, I guess, at the butt of it all, and you're doing this, then we're going to get to the bottom line of this, that. Wouldn't you be playing into...
I think you're playing into it if you secretly do it. My thing is, I would, as an adult, it goes more like, "Oh, you want to talk about so and so? I don't even feel comfortable doing this. Let's go ahead and contact so and so, and we can all talk about this. And you can get out whatever's
I
on
see
your
what you're
chest."
saying. I think I thought I may have misunderstood how you were saying it.
No, I was saying back in the day, when I was a kid, I would
Right.
go ahead and
Right.
let someone eavesdrop into the conversation.
Gotcha.
But
the
that's
person that's being talked
Mhm.
about would be the one that you would just ease on the third
Yeah.
line. I got you.
But now as an adult, I feel like we should be.
And see that now you're going where I would go. That's how I would handle it. It's like, as I always say, I'm not gonna approach you to feed your satisfaction of what you want to assume or or know or say something about if it's about me. Go ahead and talk to who you want to talk to. Bottom line, if you really want to know, just come talk to me. And that's how I put it. I'll leave it there. And then once just be careful about when you ask. Make sure you want to know, because I'm going to tell you. See,
And make sure
that's
you're ready
where
to know.
That's my point. I mean, if you're not ready to know,
You may not want to
because
make.
you may be opening the door you may not want to open.
We Pandora's box.
And that's what
Pandora's
we get
box.
me with, folks. And that's why I was glad you came up with it, because personally for me, that's been a little something that's happened in my week. I'm not going to approach you. It's just not going to happen. I'm going to let you sit there and say what you're going to say. Because at the end of the day, the bottom line, you still don't know. Whatever it is that you think you know, that's you. But
You still
I
don't
feel
have
like-
confirmation of it.
right, and I feel like if the boundary that's being set, you're gonna hang yourself because you're gonna sit there and keep talking or going on with the assumption that you created, it's gonna backfire on you at some point.
It's got to.
And that's I
Well,
think that's what people
not
don't
even
realize.
just a backfire. It's just going to the light's going to shine on. In other words, because we're really bright today, but the light's going to eventually hit there. You know, the sun rises and sets. You know, eventually the sun is going to hit that spot over there.
Right.
Just like.
See, I'm not I try not to be a person that sugarcoats. And as you can see, I'm already getting in that little format because my mind.
Trying to see.
And again, I don't want to have someone take it the wrong way, but I just feel like people should, the boundary that should be set, you gotta learn how to stand up for yourself.
Well,
I mean,
you must. You
like,
got to, first of all.
You gotta learn how to stand up for yourself. You feed into it, you're basically sending a signal they must be right. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause why is it bothering you if you feed into it? So if you don't feed into it, you're letting them.
You're pushing me.
I'm just, that's the purpose.
You're pushing me.
That's the purpose.
And always you're pushing me. I do believe in people standing up for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
There's been I'm going to call it a movement lately.
Okay.
And it's called the anti-bullying movement.
Mm-hmm.
I think that some parts of it went too far.
I agree.
Now, everything. I think life is you're bullied, quote unquote bullied, to their standard every day in life.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Diva.
Hey, Diva joined this show.
But I think there's a natural part, and there's bullying when you're harassing a person.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like a natural bullying is something that you just try to basically a peer pressure. You're trying to push someone to do something that you want them to do. I'm trying to push Diva to sit where I want her to sit. And that'd be bullying.
Exactly.
You know, she could resist on it, or she could just leave me altogether, which she'll probably do in a few. But there's another bullying where I exert force and more physical exertion on the person to make them do that.
Okay.
And that becomes harassment.
Right.
That's wrong.
Okay.
So, because I feel like me and my cousin, in their definition, would have bullied each other. My cousin wanted to play business. I want to play Monopoly.
Mm-hmm.
But we had to learn how to negotiate.
Okay.
We're not playing business today. We'll play it tomorrow, but we can play Monopoly today. We can do this today. Make negotiation.
Right.
That makes it That makes you able to help in a healthy way.
Okay.
Set your boundaries and learn how to negotiate.
Okay.
And that's why I am so against 100% anti-bullying on some people's way of thinking of it. Because without those small steps, you can be pushed into a lot of other things in business and everything else, and you don't know how to handle yourself.
We use little scenarios, and I understand. Like we said, this could be a very broad subject, but I guess for me, I feel like something's still missing. Because again, would you say that your background or your upbringing, the way you were raised, don't you feel like that plays an integral part of?
Of course it does. Culture.
How you're going to set these boundaries? Because I grew up in a city where I literally had to fight almost every day. I mean, give or take a day, an hour, but the fact is, so approaching me, if I was still that individual, but again, sometimes we revert back to that because that's what we know. You know what I'm saying? So if you come to me and I'm trying to establish a boundary, but yet you still feel the need to, bully or however we're classifying it, talking,
Persuade.
invading my space, persuade, all of the
Hmm.
above. It's like, how do you're perceived as one way.
But you just got to tell them stop. I'm not doing that.
Okay, and now we're going back to my original. What about the people that are not bold enough to do that? You know what I'm saying? There has to be a different avenue that they
I
could
feel
take.
like
And I'm speaking from like maybe the bullying, the bullied point of view. That bully is sitting there thinking, I'm one step away from taking myself out of here because I don't want to deal with this anymore.
I feel like if you can't do it yourself, I go back to that scenario. Bring help.
But I feel like I'm showing an extra sign of weakness. I'm scared to do that. Then what I do?
Um, you have to show your side of weakness, and that's what. If you're not able to do it yourself, you need to get help. Bring help. If you need to go have a pep talk with me before you go, do that. We do a like the corner men in the in boxing. You got this. You got this. Your face, your face all small. Like you got
That
this.
steady coaching you want.
Coaching, you can win this game. I can't see where he's at, but I'm talking. He telling me I can win. You gotta get a. It's back on your resources, you know.
Okay, so let me, and I hear what you're saying. But if, and let me speak from a bullied perspective. I was that kid
Mhm.
probably in early elementary school. So as we're talking and I'm reverting back, most of that time was spent. Okay, let me run. Figuring if I run, it'll go away.
Mhm.
Only to find out I gotta show up at that spot again the next day
Mhm.
to see it's still there. But it's even heightened now because it didn't get carried out the day before. So the next day, the bullying intense because,
How did you solve this
and that's what I'm getting to. I wanted to bring you into this
one? Mhm.
scenario because I want you to feel the whole thing to see. And it's basically after so long, one or two things transpire. You get tired of running,
Mhm.
and that's when you get to the point where let me take myself out or do something. You start thinking drastically how you can do something to take yourself away from the scenario, remove yourself from it, period. All the way down to the point of death.
And right there, I say again, when you are unable to solve any issue, find someone to talk to.
So, hear what you just said. So, with me, how I ended up solving it, gang of boys, they're chasing. I want to say about 4 or 5 of them.
Mhm.
I was a track star, took track on purpose. Boom, getting it. And our street was a straight shot. It, if you ran up the street, which is on a little incline, you ran up that street, you eventually run up on our porch. I mean, it's set dead in the middle of the street.
Mhm.
So, boom, my mother could see me coming from down the street. She ran and locked the door. Mother said, I get to the door. They coming, mom, open the door. They running up the street. I had that much lead on them.
Mhm.
So by the time she came out on the porch and said, either you go fight them or you come in here and fight me. For me, that worked. Because I
Mhm.
ended up having to go, I'm not finna go in. That fight in the house is going to be much worse than taking some bumps and bruises from me. But all right, we just have to fight y'all, whatever happens, happens.
Mhm.
What about that individual who just can't. Because we have people that committed suicide just because they've been bullied.
Mm-hmm.
How do we get to those individuals? I mean, like, I hear you saying, go
Well,
get
first of
help,
all,
but they don't feel like
the
that's an option
the
for them.
person has to say something, because no one can read your mind. No one knows where that point is for each person.
Point brought up. Reading them
But even us bystanders should see when a person is getting
There
into
we go.
and offer help. But you know,
There we go. That's what I was hoping to hear you say, because from a person being bullied.
but again, when I speak about boundaries, you need to have permission for that person to step in to help.
Why? If you see that this is
If there
potentially harmful, wouldn't that be a boundary already set or preset?
it should be. But again, when you deal with culture, you have to learn where
So
or
aren't
your
you
front
giving
door.
it the excuse to keep going then by saying what you just said?
No.
Either you're gonna
No,
step in or you're
no,
not.
because I'm asking that person, do you need help? Do you need me to step in and help you?
And I say no. But
When
you see it's a problem.
You gotta respect people's boundaries on that. That's a hard boundary to tackle.
Okay.
But you still have to be able to respect that this person says they don't need help.
So
But see,
then next week you
it's
find out
different.
that
It's different.
killed themselves.
It's different on the age group, your ages too.
Oh yeah, I believe that plays a
Because
factor.
if you're talking about scenario of younger kids, that one.
Even in adults, you
No,
have
no.
battered women.
Yeah,
who
battered
won't
women.
tell.
Now I did learn this one thing about battered women. You have to be ready to leave. If you're gonna leave, you gotta make sure that that's all in. Nothing left, nothing to go back. But a lot of times, a lot of abuse happens because they're trying to leave. So, again, on respecting boundaries is saying that you're not going to interfere with it personally, but you still can call for help.
See, you're going in. Like you said, I was pushing you earlier. If I was given that scenario, and this didn't end that way, but just putting on me knowing what can transpire, what I've been through, and what can transpire. The individual that's in that situation needs to know that nothing's going to change if you don't stand up for yourself. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have to go and fight the bully or confront the bully. Like Joseph was saying, and you know me, I'm big on words. So that's why I went through those whole scenarios to bring it back to, it's like a crackhead. It's like in any addiction. Until you want to help yourself, nothing's going to change or happen. So if you feel like death is the way out, as opposed to trusting that telling someone, and you can get the help you need, then, I mean, there's nothing we can really do about that. I mean, because again, at the end of the day, that individual can control that piece of will.
And I would tell you this one, on that part, I've been in that situation.
I think we all have this.
Yeah,
You know,
a lot of special people have been with.
Why they gotta be special?
Because them normal people ain't dealing with. Those people that have that special talents that are, how can you say, they have purpose in their lives. It's going to be tested very heavily. More and more. And they have to know how to deal with those Um, you only get tested on things that you're talented enough to do. It's there to give you a status check.
So are you saying you have to basically, or it's an understood thing if you're at that level to know that you're going through it so that you can help someone else?
E- That's the mature level that you see.
Yeah.
You see, most of the time, you see this hindsight.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But when you're going through it, it's just like, this is all intense stuff. This is no bars. Everything is being thrown at me.
See here, I grew up and you know there's this little age difference, but I grew up in the era of what's done in the house, stay in the house. I'm learning. I have family members and friends that knew maybe their older siblings or knew that that was a rule, used to be a rule, and when like their matriarchs, like their great grandmothers or grandmothers were alive,
That right
that
there.
that rule that helped keep. So I'm making that connection. What's done in the house, stay in the house, versus if you see something going on with someone and you don't say nothing, and hear me out, and you got those two, it's like this is the back in the day versus the modern, but they're still like
I'm
doing the
gonna
same
stop.
thing.
I'm gonna stop you right there, and I'm going to say we're gonna do this on the next show.
Okay.
But that is a major.
That's a good
issue.
stopping point because I want
That's
somebody.
a major point.
I'm
Right
hoping somebody understands just that
Because-
and comment so that we can kind of have
there.
that.
Let's do this. Let's just make a poll. How did you grow up? Did you grow up in the era where
What's
what
done
happens in the
now,
house
stay
stays in the house?
Or if you see something being done, you kind of just
You see something, say something.
yeah. Okay, I like the way you say it. Yeah, see something, say something.
Very interesting.
That's a very good stopping point.
And I think that we're gonna.
We doing it next week. Hey, we ain't skipping.
I wanna see the
Yeah.
responses. So we're gonna have to
we
wait
gonna
on
look
this
at the
one.
responses, and then next week we gonna elaborate
Hmm.
on the responses plus what I still got in here because I ain't doing it.
And we ain't even started talking about love.
I know, right?
But
You have to get the boundaries set first. You can't love nobody without the boundaries.
Mhm.
Or can you love somebody and then set the boundaries?
You can.
See, that's another question.
I told you this could last all month. All right, you guys. I want to say a small word of prayer for everyone. Lord, I would like to say thank you for allowing us to interact with your people.
Yes.
Your people are very precious, special, and unique in your sight. Lord, I will ask you to touch each and every one of them. Meet them at their needs,
Mhm.
Lord. Allow them to have what they need to get to the next point.
Yes.
And last,
Yeah. Some came to him. You gonna give it now or you gonna wait?
Lord, I ask a special blessing for everyone that's watching. There's some people that are in dire need.
Mm.
I want you to make this breakthrough for them
Mm-hmm.
that only you can do.
Mm-hmm.
They're needing your help, and Lord, I'm standing with them, in agreements with them, so that you can help make this breakthrough, where they need to know
Mm-hmm.
that you are still in control
That's right.
and that you still care for them.
Yes.
Lord, we ask all these blessings in your blessed name. Amen.
Amen. Call us. Write it. Take it.
Subscribe.
Oh yeah, definitely subscribe. They're playing. We got lurkers.
Background lurkers.
Yeah. All my inbox to be full.
But see, they come to your inbox.
I know, right? They come attacking me. Get him.
My inbox.
Yeah,
is
get
clean.
him. Yeah, get him. But you can continue to. It's okay.
I can say what I won't say.
Oh, they're gonna throw my friends at me. Good job.
Mario.
We good.